Now we're adding mixed numbers, but this time, when we add our fractions, we'll get a total of more than one whole, or an improper fraction. So we'll need to change that back into a mixed number before adding it to our whole numbers. So first, we have 2 and 1/2 plus 2 and 5/7. Now we know that to add fractions, we need the denominators to be the same. So we need to find the lowest common multiple of 2 and 7. 14 is in both the 2 and the 7 times table, so we can find equivalent fractions to 1/2 and to 5/7, which both have a denominator of 14. We use multiplication to find equivalent fractions. 2 times 7 is 14, so we do the same to the numerator, and 1 times 7 is 7. Now 7 times 2 is 14, and 5 times 2 is 10. So we can rewrite our question. Instead of 2 and 1/2, we can write 2 and 7/14, and instead of adding 2 and 5/7, we can add 2 and 10/14. So now adding our whole numbers together gives us 4, but when we add our fractions, we get 17/14. That's because when we add fractions, the denominator stays the same, and 7 plus 10 is 17. But we can't write 4 and 17 over 14 as our answer, because we can't have an improper fraction in a mixed number. We can't have a fraction where the numerator is larger than the denominator. So we need to change those 17/14 into a mixed number. So the 4 wholes can stay the same, but we can change 17/14 into 1 and 3/14. That's because 1 times 14 is 14 plus 3 is 17, or because 17 divided by 14 is 1 remainder 3, and the denominator stays the same. So 4 plus 1 is 5, and the fraction stays the same, so 5 and 3 over 14 is our answer. Now we have 2 and 3/4 plus 1 and 2/3. We need the denominators to be the same, and 12 is in both the 4 and the 3 times table. 12 is the lowest common multiple of 4 and 3, so we can find equivalent fractions with a denominator of 12. 4 times 3 is 12, and 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12, and 2 times 4 is 8. So we can rewrite our question. Instead of 2 and 3/4, we can write 2 and 9/12, because that's equivalent to 3/4, and instead of adding 1 and 2/3, we can add 1 and 8/12. Now adding our whole numbers, 2 plus 1 is 3, but when we add our fractions, the denominator stays the same, and 9 plus 8 is 17. So again, we have an improper fraction, so we can't write 3 and 17/12, because we can't have a fraction where the numerator is larger than the denominator in a mixed number. So the 3 wholes can stay the same, but we can write 17/12 as 1 and 5/12. That's because 1 times 12 is 12, plus 5 is 17, or because 17 divided by 12 is 1 remainder 5, and the denominator stays the same. So now 3 plus 1 is 4, and our fraction stays the same, so that's 4 and 5/12. Now let's show fraction bars to see what we did here. We started with 2 and 1/2, and we were adding 2 and 5/7. We changed the half into 7/14, and the 5/7 into 10/14. But when we put our fractions together, that gave us 17/14, and we knew that we couldn't write 4 and 17/14 as our answer, because we can't have an improper fraction in a mixed number. So we changed our 17/14 into 1 and 3/14, and putting that together with the whole numbers in our question gave us 5 and 3/14 as our answer. Then we had 2 and 3/4, and we were adding 1 and 2/3. We changed 3/4 into 9/12 and 2/3 into 8/12. So, because the denominators were the same, we could put our fractions together to get 17/12. But we knew that we couldn't write 3 and 17/12 as our answer, so we changed that into 1 and 5/12, and putting that together with the whole numbers in our question gave us 4 and 5/12 as our answer. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that was helpful. If you're a teacher or a parent, then please subscribe or go to keystage2maths.com to download resources for this lesson and many more. That's all for now. I'll see you in the next video.